Hi everyone. It's that time of the night for me to recap my trades for the day. This is kind of my nightly routine for me to go over and just kind of analyze my trades to see where I could improve and all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna jump in with the trade I took from my watch list this morning. I think I had 3 tickers on my watch list, but this one is the one that I really like the most based on the pre-market action. The windows were right up my alley. I had, this one was the smallest window, which was about $1.40. This one was about $2. This one was about 3 or almost $3. So those some nice windows that I had to work with. And what I really liked was the way this thing ran up, and then it started basing here above this level and kind of above the VWAP. So my first bias on this was long. And I was looking for it to hold this and maybe make a nice move to this level at the open for me to get long, and then turn around and flip it short back down to this level. So I was looking for the double move on it kind of right out of the gate. But as pre-market has gone for me the last couple weeks, the move I look for actually starts to happen in the hour leading up to open. And this ticker was no different. The exact move I wanted happened prior to open. Ran up, tested this level, came back down to VWAP. That was just the trade. The 2 trades that I wanted. So after that happened, I had to kind of back up and punt. And I still look for this thing to push off of the VWAP here open. Come up and test this level, fail again, and I was going to take it back to the VWAP and expected it to fall back down to this level. But that didn't happen. We got this wicked candle here, which is kind of normal for the first 5 minutes. And then the next 5-minute candle opened down here and ran right up. Well, it opened and it started to sell off a little bit. And I thought I might have missed a move, but it ran back up, tapped this resistance again. And I started looking at the 2-minute chart, and this candle was printing, so it looked, pretty favorable for me to take a short here. So I got in here. It's about 47.65. And my first target was a VWAP. And, it got there in pretty much no time. So my first profit I took off, it was 47.24. So I got like 41 cents on the first move, which wasn't bad. The next move I was looking for was the move back down to the 20. Because I want to take profits here at the 20. But didn't get that. It started whipping around. It really started jumping on me. Even though the spread stayed within 1 or 2 cents, this stock would jump up 40 cents, 30 cents, and then come back down, jump up 20 cents and come back down. So I wasn't comfortable with the price action. It never really settled down. So again, I took profits here on this candle. I got it at 47.10. What I did when it cat down here, I used market orders, and in this case it kind of cost me about 10 cents or so. But that's fine. That it just happens sometimes. But when the spread is within 1 or 2 cents, I can comfortably use market orders without much slippage. But this one was jumping around so much that you're going to get that slippage, and it was moving too fast for me to type in limit orders. And I guess this is where hotkeys would help me, but for some reason I don't like hotkeys. I just can't get a handle on it, so I just kind of trade the old-fashioned way. And then this never really settled down like I wanted it to. So I went ahead and took the trade off here. I wasn't comfortable with the price action. And after that, I just kind of walked away from it. But this is something that I really have to work on, because you can see this thing made the move that I was looking for, and I wasn't there to take it. I started looking at other trades and, went and just kind of focused on the reversal scans. Really, it's not wrong for me to go focus on the reversal scans, but I still need to keep these charts up. They're on my watch for a reason, and that means they have the potential to make decent moves. And not all of them make the moves in the first hour. Some may make the big move the second hour, and that's just what this did. So this would have given me an even more of an incredible opportunity to the long side. Just wasn't around to take it. So that's something going forward that I'm going to try to make sure that I keep my eye on this. Because if I could, this one ticker could have given me my whole day. And eventually it did make it back up. It made it up to this level here. And really, up to 51. So that would have been an incredible long off the VWAP. From say 47.30s on up to the 51s. But like I said, at 10 o'clock, 10:30 or so, I start looking at the reversal scans. And right after I got out the other trade, I started looking at reversal scans, and this one was the first one I saw. So when I started drawing levels, the first level I drew, I saw that it was already right on it. And I think I drew this one was the next one. And I went right back to, the 5-minute chart and was looking for an entry. So I went again, I looked at the 2-minute chart, and, I caught this candle here coming down. I didn't wait. Normally you want to wait for the next 2-minute candle to open and make a new low. But I'm trying to base my trades off of these levels of support and resistance. This, I wanted to base it off this failed resistance. Plus, I wanted to use high day, as my stop. But I caught this right at the level 58.49. I went ahead and got in. And my first target was going to be the 9. So, really didn't have to work through anything. It just took about 10 or 15 minutes to get there. But got out on my first target, 57.98. The next target was going to be the VWAP. There again, did another market order here. It's got filled at 57.74. And I held through because my ultimate target was going to be this level here. So I still had half my trade on. Almost took some off here, but I really felt that this was going to get down and bounce off the 200, and that's exactly what it did. Called all of these moves and every target that I took, out in chat prior to taking it. So I'm going to try to let everybody know what my thoughts are, when I'm in the trade. If something changes, if my plan changes, I will, alert that. So, make sure that those that are watching and trying to understand what I'm doing, I can have, some explanation. But this was a picture perfect reversal trade. I didn't have the building, the increasing buying volume here that I like to see on the way up. But the volume did stay pretty high. Got a little blip here, but this one came back. And it was right on this level, so I went ahead. The RSI was where it needed to be. It was almost in the 80s. And I felt confident taking it off this level here. So that's a textbook reversal trade for me. Right off our scans that we have in chat. If you don't have your own subscription, You know, these are up all day with the exception of when we do the market recaps, so you can take advantage of it. You know, a lot of work went into these scanners, and you know, they give you a lot of opportunities. You know, not all of them set up, but you just have to, if you learn the setup, you learn what to look for, you can capitalize on these. And here again, I'm not really paying attention. I'm, you know, celebrating, you know, this winning trade here, and just totally forgot about catching a secondary move. And that's something that I haven't gotten back yet. Something that I had, you know, last year, and this is what helped me grow my account tremendously, is catching these secondary moves. Now this ticker really gave you 3 moves. One from the open, but you know, it wasn't a gapper, didn't have a lot of, I mean, it was a gapper, but it didn't have a lot of volume at pre-market, so it didn't really hit my scan. But it still gave you a nice move up. Alongside, you could have flipped it, gone short, down, and then caught this other little move coming up. And catching these moves just on one ticker can make your day. And you know, that's what I like to do. But it's something that I just have to get focused on and get my head wrapped around again. So after lunch, those were the 2 trades I took before lunch. After lunch, I was looking at this bottom reversal that came up on our scan. BMY. Really, Facebook was first. I mean, not Facebook. PayPal was the first one that I saw, but I kind of missed it. I caught it late, and it was already starting to make the move, so I missed it. It made a nice reversal trade, but BMY was the next one, and I went out and I drew the levels that, you know, it could come to. This was the first one that I was looking for it to hit, but it didn't quite make it down. But what I was looking at was, this is the ascending volume that I like to see. This is an increase in selling volume, and I like to see this right before I get a signal to that it's going to reverse. A lot of times, this doji here, this candle right here, will signal a change in trend or a change in direction. So I like to see this. I like to see the ascending volume, and I like to see the RSI down here below 20. And this was kind of sitting right on 20. So I was able to make a large enough case for me to go ahead and take this trade and base it off of lower day, which was 58.65. I was able to get in at 58.70. And so I had a 5-cent stop. Had this thing taken out lower day, then that meant it was probably going to test this level. And so I was going to wait and take the trade off this level. I knew I already had a cushion. I knew 5 or 10 cents I could play with that wasn't going to kill me. And it wasn't going to, you know, make me lose my daily goal. So I went ahead and took it because everything looked right. I could build a case on it. The only thing that I didn't really like was there were 2 things that I didn't like. It didn't tap resist support here, and the volume was low. You know, even though this had ascending volume, it was below 200,000 shares, and I like to trade them with at least 250,000 shares on a 5-minute candle. But you know, the last couple months, these tickers with lower volume have been moving, and so I've been trading them. And you know, this is part of what I study on the weekends, is how to trade, how to adapt and how to trade some of these tickers with low volume. And really, oftentimes, it's just a matter of being patient. And then once you start getting these crazy moves like this, then it's probably time to get out, because stocks with very little volume can be manipulated by someone coming in with a large order, and the price can spike and all of that. So what I like to look for, just for information's sake, what I wanted to see in this was, I didn't mind this trading between the 20 and the 9, but what I like to see is the 9 and the 20 converging, or the 9 squeezing these candles against the 20, and because eventually it'll pop. It squeezes it until it pops over this, and a lot of times it'll pop it right up the VWAP, where you can take profit and be a successful trade. But I didn't see that. Actually stopped out, because my plan was, the 9 was going to be my stop. It took it out. I didn't even wait for it to close. I saw the price action. It looked pretty bad. The volume wasn't there anymore, so I went ahead and took it off. It just didn't give me the move that I wanted to. Then eventually this thing came back and tested that level that I was looking at, and then started to reverse off of it. But it was late in the day. I usually don't trade after 3 anyway, because by then it's time to carpool and pick the kids up. So no big deal there. But still, on this move here, still picked up $240. I mean, pretty much effortless. It's just sitting back, taking profit when it hits the marks, waiting to stop out if it stops you out. And you just take them, what the chart gives you. And, not a bad day overall. Almost $1,300 in moves here. I don't know, any other way of trading that really can satisfy me other than trading these reversals. I love them. They're safe. They're consistent. Sure, you may miss it. As long as you have enough room between where you get in and the 9 moving average, 30, 40 cents, then the trade is worth taking. It's worth a try. Because if it fails, it's going to fail when it tests the 9. Once it starts to reverse. Now, but you have to make sure that you find an area that it's going to reverse off of. In this case, yeah, the support was 30 cents away, but it pretty much gave me the signal right here. So when I got the signal, I went ahead and took it. Only 5 cent stop. Probably would have gone to 10 cents, and then I could have got it off this level here, because this is probably where it would have bounced if it came back. So these are low risk trades. Once you get the hang of these, and yeah, you're not getting the 2 point moves like you would at the open. No, but you get 2 or 3 of these in the day, and you can make your day. The first one on AFL, just to give you an example, I don't usually talk about money all the time, but AFL, I got $677.60 off this move here. This was textbook, and this made the full move. But $677.60 off of it. On the first trade of the day, I didn't make that much money off of it because it just didn't move the way I wanted it to. You know, I took what it gave me and got out, but I got 381, you know, and some change out of this move. You know, my daily goal is set at 350, 381 here, 677, 60 on the other one. And then this feeble attempt at a bottom reversal, you know, 240 out of it. So more than made up for the slow day yesterday. And, you know, one more day like this, and, you know, I'm going to have a good week, and I'm off to a good month. You know, the more money I make, the more buying power I'll have going forward, because I won't wire out until the end of the month. And, you know, that's kind of my incentive to book profits and to grow my account, because the more I grow it, the more buying power I have, and the more ability I have to take, you know, these $80, $90, $100 stocks that make the bigger moves. You know, I could take them with some decent size and you know, take advantage of those. But that was my day in a nutshell. I won't be there for the open tomorrow. I mean, I may be there early, but by the time the market opens, I'll be running an errand and probably won't get back till after lunch. But maybe we'll find some reversals, or one or two reversals after lunch, you know, that can give us a decent move and make a little bit of money off of. But until then, everybody have a great night, great evening, and I'll see everybody tomorrow in chat.